Welcome back to the ETF Inspector. It's Tuesday, September 2nd, about 7:30 at night, and this is our daily recap video for LFGY, YieldMax's crypto industry option income ETF. Before we get into it, a reminder, I'm on X at ETF_inspector1. I post things related to the videos, like when they're being released, trades, distributions, and of course, thank yous if it's not on something that came from YouTube. If it comes from like Buy Me a Coffee, post things there as well. Fun little thing on pretty much the same day, I hit 4,000 subscribers on YouTube and 1,000 subscribers on X. So I've been tracking to see which one's growing faster since then. So we're up another 310 over here on YouTube compared to 226 on X. So we need the X to catch up. Okay, the market was odd today. Overall, pretty red, but some of the crypto names did well. Unfortunately, not enough of them for LFGY to be positive. It ended down 0.37%. Started to get some back in the after hours, but not enough to make any real difference. As we can see, good combination of red and green. We'll go deeper on our spreadsheet, so we don't need to worry too much about that. After 5:30, we do go to YieldMax's website, scroll down on any of the ETFs, and click on Intraday Trades Download. That gives us this. Luckily, we only have 4 trades to talk about with LFGY, so that part will be quick. But as you can see, not a whole lot of data there, so including doesn't have totals. It doesn't put positives or negatives. It's just flat numbers, so we've got to do something with it. So when we put it in here, right, add the negatives where money is spent. I know that's opposite of how accounting books are kept, but I'm not an accountant. So I just do negatives for money going out and positives for money coming in. So we had trades on XYZ, that's block. We bought to close our $82 calls that were sold, paying 9 cents a share. We also sold the puts, or not the puts, the further out of the money calls at 85, and we adjusted our strikes closer to the money and rolled them out another week. So these are already moved out to the following Friday. We should be done with them this week. Dropped them down to $77 puts, not calls. So we adjusted our strategy. We are now selling puts and buying puts further out of the money in the event that they go further. That resulted in an almost $79,000 credit, with it being the only position traded. Our trading for the day resulted in that $78,933 credit. As you can see, our values were down $363,000. So we'll take a look at how we got that result. Starting off with Bitmine Immersion, they were down 2.6%. Their $49 calls are 15.3% out of the money, so kind of surprising. They might end up closing and rolling these to a closer strike here if we get another day or two this far out. I do want to mention LFGY does, for the most part, a covered call strategy. Sometimes they will do a call spread. Sometimes they'll do put spreads. You'll see them too, but they do not trade that collar strategy the way Ulti does. There are not protective puts in here protecting the shares themselves. We're just trying to generate income off of them. You'll see puts, but they're not protective puts. They're usually generating income. So BitDeer Technology, here we go, a little slide over, down 0.3%. They've got a put spread sold here, so the 1350s are $5.20, or 5.2% out of the money. Clean Spark up 1.8%. Of course, they were close before we started, so they went in the money by 1.5%. They're 14 cents in the money. Coinbase down 1/3% to 303.56. Their 320 calls sold are 5.4% out of the money. Core Scientific down 2.44%. $14.50 calls are 3.5% out of the money. Circle Internet Group, the big loser over here. You're probably used to me saying it. They're usually the big winner, the big loser. They swing a lot. Can't believe they only have a 60-something% IV with the way they move. But down almost 9%, dropped our value by 470,000. 13.2% out of the money on those sold 136s. Again, you're going to see no action taken as far as closing out options until we get all the way to the bottom. iShares Ethereum Trust ETF, ETHA, down 1.58%. $36 calls are 11.5% out of the money. Galaxy Digital up 2.85%. Took those calls just in the money by 0.66%, with them being at 24, so they're 16 cents in the money. GameStop, the big winner today, up 4.42% to 23.40. I think I was trying to sell puts on them Friday and just missed it. So a lot of my trades lately have been just missing getting my asking price. $24 are 2.56% out of the money. Hood for Robinhood down over 3%. 108s are 7.1% out of the money. Hut 8 Corp up 2.5%. It's a shame. All the ones that are going up were so close to the money that we're not able to really capture as much as we could. $27 calls are now 1.5% in the money. iShares Bitcoin Trust ETF, or IBIT, up to almost $63. There's no options to worry about. So that 2.5% increase just resulted in $436,000 value increase. Mara Holdings up 0.5%. They've got a couple positions here. They've got a call spread sold for this week, a credit call spread. The 17s are 5.85% out of the money. They've also got a put spread. So I believe this might have been the Iron Condor or something along those lines. So they've sold the 1650 puts and purchased 16s. Those sold puts are 2.74% out of the money. So as far as winning this trade, not necessarily best case overall scenario, but as far as winning this big picture trade, if the share price would end above 1650 and below 17, that would be the best possible outcome for that option trade. MBTX, we don't own any shares. We just have two option spreads again. First, a credit call spread, or call credit spread, selling the 280s. They're 6.82% out of the money even after today's increase to 262.12. The $255 puts on this debit put spread expiring at the end of the year are still 2.7% out of the money. That put's got a lot of value right now. We could sell that for $7.3 million. Mercado Libre was down. This is a fairly big move for them. They don't generally move this much in a day. As you can see, 29% average IV on their 30-day. They have $2,530 calls sold, and the stock went down to $2,379, so they're 6.3% out of the money. Strategy, or formerly MicroStrategy, up 2.16%. Still another 1.72% out of the money on those 347.50s. NU Holdings up 0.44%. They've got a put spread here, so that increase helps with that. They $15 puts are in the money, so they climbed closer to getting out of the money. That works out well as far as winning the trade. If they go up another 0.91%, plus there's no real cap, however far they want to go up, because there's no calls sold. NVIDIA Corp down almost 2%. 177.50 calls are almost 4% out of the money. Opera down 1.23%. Their $17.50 calls for the 19th are 9% out of the money. PayPal's got a put spread here. They went down 1.34%, so that doesn't help when you're selling the puts. $71 puts are 2.5% in the money. Riot Platforms up 2.4%. Their 1450 calls are 2.9% out of the money. And finally, Block was down 4.25%. They closed and rolled these positions. That was the only trade we had to talk about today. So that all resulted in a $363,000 decrease in value. When the day started, Assets under management was 185 million, so that doesn't take into account anything we just talked about today. We won't get that information until we download the holdings that comes out late tonight, early tomorrow. Outstanding shares unchanged, 5,250,000. When we started the day, the NAV, or the value per share, was 35.27. It was a slight drop today, but nothing major. And we all received our 44.7 cent distribution on Friday. I feel like I might have forgotten to update that. Unhide. Okay. Never mind. And I did forget to mention, if you missed the weekend video, the week look ahead, and the distribution guesstimate, the guess was 44.15 cents. So very similar to last week. That's my guess. We will find out tomorrow morning when they announce it at 6:55 in the morning. All right, that's all I have for you. Normally, I tell you to go over to the Ulti video for the joke, because there's one a day. But I came up with a different joke that was funnier than the calendar. That means there's an extra one, so you guys can get the calendar joke here. You should still go watch the Ulti video if you haven't already. So thanks for watching. Thank you for all the likes, comments, shares, everything. I appreciate it a lot. All right, dad joke of the day. What crime do blacksmiths most commonly get charged with? Forgery. Yeah, that one's C-. All right, thank you for watching. Good luck trading tomorrow, and have a good night.